So Batman Arkham Shadow just dropped its own gameplay trailer, and all my days I was wrong about this game. A lot of people were disappointed with the very first trailer, just giving us a little tease into the villain, also known as the Ratcatcher, and what we could have expected. But now that we actually have a full-fledged gameplay trailer, fans are definitely switching up. I think Camouflage just had a nerf and said, here, let us just cook real quick and give us this badass trailer. But anyway, let's just go through this trailer and see what we can see throughout the whole game. Now this trailer just puts you right into the action, showing off the combat and the kind of grapple techniques, and all I can say is the combat looks smooth as hell so far. I'm also very curious on how we are going to be able to traverse through in the real world. Are we going to be able to control the gliding? Are we able to glide wherever the hell we want? It's going to be very intriguing once we see that. We of course got the introduction to detective mode, which I think will definitely be the highlight of this whole VR experience. As Batman, he's the world's greatest detective, and we're going to see a lot of that in this game. Obviously trying to find out who the Ratcatcher is, so I'm actually very excited to see those segments come into play. The grapple does play a very big part in this trailer, showing that we can go all across the room, like gliding all over the shop and taking guys out. Like, this looks just nuts, man. If we can glide through a whole room and take guys out, that would just be insane, bro. But it looks like that's exactly what they're going for. We're obviously going to see the return of a few iconic Batman gadgets, such as the explosive gel, which looks a whole lot better than it was in all of the Arkham series. Like, it just made a full-on gun for some reason, which I think is actually a lot better. I mean, imagine trying to use this in Arkham City. It would have just been an absolute breeze. And hearing Roger Craig Smith back as Batman, I mean, it just gives you the feels and just makes us want to have an Arkham Origins remaster. Like, come on, we need to have an Arkham Origins remaster before at least 2025 or some shit. I mean, come on, we have to have something announced at some point. I mean, this is probably the perfect time to even make an Arkham Origins remaster due to the hype of this game. So honestly, Rocksteady, Warner Brothers, if you're listening to this, just get it made already, because you could make double the amount of money you're making if you just released it on the release day of this game. But as we know in the past, DC are absolutely allergic to money and won't even make a Superman game, and will instead make Suicide Squad kill the Batman. Yeah, that's really what they're at right now. Now, one thing that really surprised me was the introduction of seeing Harvey Dent in this game before he became Two-Face, which is going to be a definitely really good concept if they can get this right. I don't know if we're going to see Two-Face's whole backstory come to life in this game, or it's going to be shown through a comic that gets released after this VR game, but it's going to be very intriguing to see how Harvey actually does become Two-Face. And of course, as we know from Arkham City and Arkham Knight, he gets pretty fucked up. So honestly, let's see how they go around that. I'm excited to see if they do show it in this, but it's going to be a very exclusive story if they can. We also go into a room and see a bunch of people sitting down, in which people have said that this is probably going to be around Scarecrow and the older days and younger days of Jonathan Crane, and it certainly looks to be that way. I don't know about the other guys around them, but that is definitely a very good theory. Obviously we'll need to play it to find out, but I think Jonathan Crane is definitely going to be the most positive option here. Now, the main villain of the Rat King doesn't really show up in this trailer, but I imagine they are just saving him for the final game, so that's really all we can really expect from that. We also see the return of Harley Quinn like we see her in Arkham Origins, and it's pretty much perfect. I don't really know how the hell we're going to implement her into the story here, but I guess she's just going to be a part of like the gang that is trying to hunt down Ratcatcher, and probably the same gang along with Commissioner Gordon, because I'm pretty sure in Arkham Origins that these guys are friends at some point. But yeah, I mean, Harley Quinn could be a part of the story in some very big way. I mean, I don't know why they would just show her randomly. It's obviously going to be a lot bigger than we expect. So yeah, I'm excited to see how she's included in the game. Now, the Tiger Guard that we fight at the end of the trailer is kind of rumoured to be Lockup from the Batman animated series, and it definitely seems that way. He's got the lock chains on his wrists, and he was a well-known villain from the animated series, so it's actually pretty cool to have him in this Arkham series and being him tied into the whole game as a whole. Probably acting as the henchman for Rat King, but we'll have to see when the game releases. As I said in the beginning, the combat actually looks very fluid and is definitely a step up from what we've seen in Arkham VR when there was literally no combat like this, so I'm excited to see what they can bring to the table. Gadget wise, we have seen more of the Batarang, and we've also seen a lot of the Batclaw, and also it seems like Batclaw will definitely come in handy with the combat. I mean, that looks like the most Scorpion-ass takedown I've ever seen, but it looks like it's going to be really fun to use. There's also a still of Barbara, it what seems like. I mean, I could be very wrong here, but it definitely looks like Barbara and how she appeared in Arkham Origins, and it seems like she's going to be helping us out throughout the story a little bit, it seems as well. So I'm excited to see what she can play in this game. So my predictions for Arkham Shadow really come down to that we will be able to move a lot more than we did in the Arkham VR, and this is definitely a big step up. As far as villains go, we're seeing the debut of the Rat King, and of course some more supporting characters like seeing Harvey Dent before he became Two-Face, Commissioner Gordon, and hopefully Scarecrow in his kind of prime form before he became a Scarecrow himself. So in all honesty, am I excited for Batman Arkham Shadow? From what this trailer pursues, absolutely. It definitely is a lot better than the reveal that we saw a few months back, and it definitely seems like it's got a lot more to offer at the table. So what do you guys think of Arkham Shadow down below, and leave a comment if you think you're going to pick up an Oculus Quest 3 just to play this. And is it going to be worth your time? Well, that's really something that we have to find out when the game releases. But anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for any kind of news updates on this channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.